When somebody pulls away or shuts down, or there's something that you want, there's something that you really want to happen, it kind of automatically puts you in this state of, how do I get it? What am I going to do? I've got to work this out. And maybe if a relationship has broken down, you might be thinking, how do I get them back? How do I make them want me again? And you are chasing, and nothing much good happens when we're in that lack energy, that I don't know what I'm going to do energy. What if this doesn't happen energy? All of that keeps you in a state of loss, lack, fear. And what's your experience of yourself when you're like that? That's the real question, because this video isn't about trying to find a manipulative trick to get somebody or get something to turn around. It's about the actual state of you and how you feel within yourself, and what that state does when you are feeling in a state of connection to yourself, alignment with yourself, and how we know people respond to us when we are there. Because very often we attract amazing things when we're in a state of flow and ease. And you might be thinking, oh, wow, she's really going back into the manifestation language, which I kind of am right now. But actually, this is more of a practical way of thinking about it. And actually, I want to tell you about how we can really be more in connection to ourselves, because we know nothing really good happens when we feel like that, when we need someone to come back and we're dependent on them, right? Because what I want you to feel is in connection to yourself, so that you feel in control again. And you can see things very clearly from there. You can see, was that really me who wanted them? Or was it just that state of fear and that old abandonment trigger that made me feel like I wanted them? Do I really need this thing? Or is it a state of lack and fear within me that's making me think that I need it right now, otherwise I'm never going to be okay? When you are in that state, you can't see things clearly. So I heard a quote recently which was really good. It was, how do we catch butterflies? And we don't walk around with a net like you might think. You don't chase them. You build a garden and they come to you. And so your job is to build your garden, right? To actually focus on your life, what makes you you, because that's what drew people to you in the first place, right? You being actually authentically you. And what happens in relationships is that when we get connected and when we're attached to somebody and they start pulling away, showing you their stuff, their attachment wounds or whatever, you lose connection to you. And before you know it, you're not even being you anymore. You're being the adaptive version of you, the version of you that is triggered by your past. And what we have to do is really get very conscious about what's playing out here internally, unconsciously, because those patterns and old belief systems run the show. So when you actually start to remember who you are again and really deliberately spend time doing things and being with people and putting yourself in places that remind you of you, you become detached, more detached from the person, the thing, or the situation that you're so desperately trying to bring back to your life or to create or to change or whatever. And therefore you can actually see it with distance and perspective. So last night in the self-abandonment trap, we had the first call and it was so cool. And there was that immediately, that sense of detachment and something else in the room with us, not just us and our ex-partners, but actually creativity was there too. And, you know, creativity is literally like such a powerful force when it comes to reconnecting you back to yourself. If you are a creative person or if you're not, there is a way that you can actually use your creativity, the thing that you were given to be, the person that you are, in order to focus on a new thing that is not just this person and how you get them back, but actually using your experience to create something beautiful with it. And this is what we were talking about in the self-abandonment trap last night. And it's going, it's happening, we're doing it. And it's so cool because it's the first group that I've done where we've added in this other element to the jigsaw puzzle, to the process. And there's something really magical that happens when you start to do something for you, right? Whether that's joining a dance class, committing to a 12-week yoga course or something, or deciding that you're going to start running again, or whatever it is that you're doing. That when you add something else into your life that gives you a new focus, it creates that space between you and the thing that you are trying to bring back to you. And remember that when you are missing someone, longing for someone, really in that state of heartbreak, you're like merged between you and that thing, and you can't see clearly. And so you need to create space and distance between you and that thing in order to actually get back into the state of attraction and attracting and being that magnetic you that you are. Yeah. And this is not to say that we're even deliberately trying to get this person back or this thing anymore, because actually it's not about them. It's about your experience of yourself. Because I'll ask you that question again. What is your experience of yourself when you're needing, longing, missing, wanting? You don't feel good. But when you are actually in your own frame again and you feel connected back to you, you feel good. And therefore, these things that you think you really need right now, actually, you start questioning, do I? Do I? Actually, maybe I do, maybe I don't. But right now, I sure as hell can't see clearly because I know I'm so, so, so heartbroken and attached. You start to be able to feel better within yourself and therefore ask yourself the right questions and be able to judge the situation with more clarity. And it's not about getting them back, it's about getting you back. Okay, that's the main thing, because the saddest thing is not losing them or not having this thing. It's about not having you in the process of chasing this thing that you think is so important. Yeah. So that's what we were talking about last night in the self abandonment trap. It was awesome. Week one, and we've hit the ground running. I've set them a creative task, a creative challenge to do that we'll share and think about next week in the group. I've also got my living room. The living room is still active and running. And if you would like to join that, it is on today at 1 o'clock. So that's my group space where you can come and talk about literally anything. People are always surprised at how nice this group is. And we've been running for nearly a year because people just keep coming back. So if you want to join me in the living room, you can find out all the information about how you do that. If you'd like one-to-one support, that might be right for you right now. You can find out all the information about that in the link below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.